99.5 WKDQ, today's best country. Eric Cornish here with you. And we've got one of the great songwriters that is going to be part of the Sandy Lee Watkins Songwriters Festival. And that's coming up on July the 30th through August the 2nd. Another great year, 30 songwriters involved. And one of them is Liz Hengber. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking.
Hey, I'm so glad that you called us today. I already knew that you had written a bunch of songs for Reba, but as I started to look through your catalog, I was finding so many more songs that actually not only are just wonderful songs, but have actually meant a lot to me in my life. It's kind of neat.
Oh, cool.
That's got to be one of the cool things about being a songwriter anyway, but I'm looking at two songs in particular, She's More, the Andy Griggs song.
Yep, she's more Andy Griggs, with Rob Crosby.
And A Father's Love, which, that's my dad to a T.
For liking that song.
My gosh, those are two songs that in my life at some point I've stopped and said, man, that represents somebody else in my life. And that's got to be a cool thing for a songwriter to hear that from people. And you probably hear that a lot, don't you?
No, I can't hear it enough. So keep power it on. I love to hear it.
Oh, that is so cool. Now, a lot of songs in here. Let's start with Reba. Now, I know you had a lot of big Reba hits. How did all that come about?
Well, I was a waitress at the Gerst house when she cut For My Broken Heart. You don't get your money right away, so you have to keep your day job. So I was still a waitress at the Gerst house in Nashville when she cut For My Broken Heart. And when it went to number one, I actually asked off from work for my number one party, and they weren't sure they were going to give me the night off. So I had to beg on my knees, please give me the night off for my number one party. But it was, that song was just, it came from having my heart broken, and Reba related to it, and the rest is history.
And that's what I can tell by looking at the songs that you've had big hits with. They're all very relatable songs. Not that it's a lost art in today's country music, but I feel like you don't get those every day where you got a song that just hits you straight between the eyes and says that is my life. But between songs like Unconditional.
Thank you for remembering that one.
Songs like For You from James Otto. These are songs that just hit you right between the eyes and say these are emotional songs, and you are going to cry no matter what, no matter how big a guy you are.
Well, sad songs just make me happy.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I love to write sad songs. I think you ask any songwriter, we love to go to that place.
That's really cool. And so tell us a little bit, for anybody who hasn't been, I know you've been there before, what would you say to somebody who's never been to a songwriter showcase to convince them to come? Yeah,
well, it's just there's so much love there. And the cause is so wonderful. And, it's Henderson, Kentucky at its best. It's everybody coming out and being supportive. When we play songs in Nashville, Tennessee, the audiences have heard us, and it's kind of like they're done that. We can hear music all the time in Nashville. In Henderson, there's just an outpouring of love that we get, and we love to come. The people coming, you're going to get entertained by Nashville's absolute best. I saw the roster of the people that are coming this year, and man, I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful to have my name with these people.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be a fantastic festival. It really is.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's always one of my favorite times every single year because you just get that insight that you don't get. You hear a song on the radio, you just don't think about where it came from. And I'm very excited that we get to see that again. And again, that's going to be July 30th through August the 2nd. And you know what? I was kind of debating. I was going back and forth on what song I was going to play because I love so many of your songs here. And I want to play one of them. So I'm going to let you decide. If you could pick a song out of your catalog that best describes who you are and what you do, what would it be?
I love A Father's Love.
I'm glad you picked that. I'm very glad you picked that. And yes, we will play that. It was a cut from Bucky Covington. We still play it every year at Father's Day. And every time I hear it, I think about my dad, and I'm sure more people will. And I'm guessing you probably put a little bit of your dad in there too, right, Liz?
Absolutely. All three of us, before we wrote the song, we talked about our dads, and we realized we all had the same dad. As fate would have it, all three of our pops are now gone. And so there was a lot of bittersweetness to all this. My dad, at the time that we wrote it, was alive, and there's a part of the song where he says where he's going to fix things. These wires ain't up to code.
Yeah.
I actually called my dad during the writing appointment, and I said, Dad, what would you do if you were buying a new house? What would you need to check? And he was just off to the races. He goes, well, Liz, you got to check for codes. You got to check the wires. And Liz, if those pipes aren't working, don't buy the house. And I had the phone on speakerphone. And we just typed on our computers what he said. So that second verse is all my dad.
That is great. You know what? That song came out right around the time I bought my first house too. So that's exactly what happened when my dad came to see it. So that's awesome. So yes, we will play that song right now. A Father's Love from Bucky Covington, just one of the many songs written by Liz Hengber. Thank you so much for joining us today. And if people want to come out and see you, they can definitely do that during the Sandy Lee Songwriters Festival. Thank you for taking some time with us today.
Thank you so much.